The officiating in the Women's World Cup between the United States versus the Netherlands was atrocious. These kind of things cannot happen in an important game like in a World Cup match. How many of you are watching the Women's World Cup? It has been an exciting World Cup so far, don't you think? The United States once again have a strong team this year. However, they are a very young team. 14 of the 23 players are 25 years or younger. The United States came into the game versus the Netherlands with a lot of confidence after defeating Vietnam 3-0. However, this game, the Netherlands got out to an early lead, and it seems like the United States were just a step behind. The Netherlands were putting together 4 or 5 passes in a row, and the United States was just chasing this game, and that is problematic because in the early stages, you cannot be affording to be chasing the game. You have to get your own possession, and the United States did not control a lot of ball possession in the first half. But when you watch this game, if you watch it closely, look at the referee. The referee, I don't know what game she was officiating, what crew she was looking at, what was on her mind at that moment. There was so many missed calls, missed tackles, pushing each other, and no fouls given. Now, I understand in sports that the human element, human error will come into the game, that officials are going to miss calls. I understand that. And I'm not usually one, I watch a lot of sports. I watch baseball, football, basketball, the EPL, English Premier League, all these leagues, La Liga. Understand that the element of the game and human come, even with the advancement of technology, they are going to miss some calls, especially fouls, and especially in a contact sport. But the officiating was so horrifically bad in this game. That's not to say that the United States had an excuse, because the United States came to this game after defeating Vietnam. You go and play the Dutch. The Dutch is the 9th best team in the world. The competition is going to be much harder. The opponent is much more well fluid in their game. They are going to move the ball quickly. They have a game plan. Whereas when they defeated Vietnam, even though they defeated them 3-0, they need to win that game 7-0, 8-0. That's what should have been the outcome of that game. So coming to this game, you got to win it. And manager Adonovsky, he didn't really make any adjustments. Thank goodness at halftime, after halftime, he brought in Rose Lavelle. She brought some more energy onto the pitch. But you knew that the United States still had their chances, and whatever was said in the locker room, I'm sure he mentioned his play. We got to play better. We got to play much more, get up tempo in this game. And to their credit, the player responded. In the second half, the United States were much more critical with their passes, with their tackling. They weren't reckless with the ball. That's very important, especially when you are trailing. But minute 59, you watched that game, you saw what happened. If you didn't, Lindsey Horan, the captain of the United States, he had the ball, and a Netherlands player, Van der Donk, came in with a collision. It was a hard collision. And it seems like when Horan went down, her head bounced onto the grass. And it was just a really hard foul. The United States took exception to, especially when you look at both these players. Lindsey Horan and Van der Donk are teammates at Lyon. And Lyon won the Champions League title last year. So they are well acquainted with each other. It's just, I think Horan was a little bit shocked that her teammate came in, collided with her that hard. And guess how she responded? On the next possession, when the United States got a corner kick, who tied up the game? Lindsey Horan with the header. This is the second time in consecutive games that Lindsey Horan has scored. She also scored in the first game of the United States. In the United States, after that, they had numerous chances. The ball was constantly, because the Netherlands knew who their next opponent would be. They would be playing Vietnam in the next opponent. So they know all they need to do is draw this game. And that's what they were playing for. They were happy with the draw. The United States had numerous chances. in the 70 minutes all the way to the end of the game. The ball was constantly being in the field of the Netherlands, but the United States could not break through. Sophia Smith had a couple of chances. Rodman also had a couple of chances, could not get the ball in the net. But my whole issue with towards the end of the game, why was there only one substitution made? You had numerous chances to bring on other players onto the pitch. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, the United States have a really strong team. However, this team is very young. These players are going to mature over time. They're going to get better, but they need game time experience. This was the perfect game. Especially when you saw Sullivan in the midfield and DeMello. They did not do a lot to contribute in this game. Why do you not bring on other players to give them more energy? They have been out there running ragged, especially in the first half when they were chasing the game. If you are chasing the game, more than likely you are not going to win that game. Okay? They were running out of energy. What Adanovsky needed to do was bring on other players. Now, I didn't understand his logic towards the end of the game. He didn't feel that another player, like, for example, Alyssa Thompson, would have made any difference if he had brought her onto the pitch. I firmly disagree with that decision. This was a mistake by manager Vlatko Adanovsky by not bringing in other players to give them game time experience and see if they have the opportunity to cross it into possibly Alex Morgan or Lindsey Horan so they can get the winner. So that was, I thought, was a very bad decision. How he only brought Rose Lavelle, which is fine. She's a good player. She brought some energy in the second half. But why not use your other substitution? So it seems like he was just selling with the player that he had and did not want to use his bench. That is a mistake. That is on the manager. The manager, when you are managing at a World Cup with the women world, the United States women will always qualify. Those are the kind of decisions that people hone in on and it get magnified when you don't get the result that you want. So I think that criticism is fair. And I did not understand the logic by not bringing any other substitute in outside of Rose Lavelle. But I will give Adanovsky this. The captain of the United States team, he has the right person as the captain. Lindsey Horan deserves to be the captain. I follow her career. She's a great athlete, great ambassador for the game. A lot of people don't know this about her, but she played at PSG, professional player. But after her time at PSG, the manager didn't really like her because of the weight that she was putting on. However, she was fit, and guess what she did? When she went on Lyon, they win the Champions League title, and now she's going to stay at that club. It's also another club in France. So it goes to show you that he made the right decision, because the previous manager, when the United States won the World Cup in 2019, she did not use Lindsey Horan in the final, which I thought was a mistake, and she also used it as a substitute. Horan is one of the best players that I've seen to play on the women's national team, and it's great that she's getting the recognition that she deserves. Also, both 2 games so far for the United States, she has scored in both games. I anticipate that will be continue as she moves forward. She's one of the best attacking midfielders that she had. But also, if Adanovsky needed to use her in defense, she can also do that for the team. But Alex Morgan have yet to score, and we need to see Alex Morgan score, because this team, they will go really deep in this competition and it will get harder. So you need your front line, especially your striker, which is Alex Morgan. She has to score. Sophia Smith so far, 2 goals to her name. So the United States saw a huge opportunity that was missed by only drawing with the Netherlands. But like I mentioned, the ref was atrocious. This referee in this game, I do not want to see her ref anymore United States game moving forward. I don't know if she has animus against the United States or whatever the issue is, but the fact that this game went on for as long as it did, and the penalty and the fouls that was constantly happening against the United States and no whistle was blown, was ridiculous. You're not going to make every call, but you got to make some calls. She makes 0 out of the 10 calls. Okay? That is ridiculous. The United States next will play Portugal. And Portugal, that will be crucial because the United States right now are tied on points with the Netherlands. and it will go down to goal differential. Portugal have a good defense. And that's the thing. The United States need to maintain, because if the Netherlands smash Vietnam, which they have every opportunity and capable of doing that, the United States need to ensure to get enough goals, because they didn't beat Vietnam like they should have, and then they draw against the Dutch. So we'll see what happens moving forward. Clearly, the United States have a young team, but this is a squad, I think, that when we look back on time, the 2023 squad that play in Australia and New Zealand, this is going to still be a great team. You want to win the group, so you have the easiest path towards the final. It's not if you go win runners up, the United States won't be favored, because like I said, this is a strong team. So let's see how the United States moving forward. I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about the United States drawing with the Netherlands? What's the missed calls in the game? What about manager Adamowski using only one substitution when he had a plethora of players he could have chosen from to bring them onto the pitch to help the team get the 3 points? He didn't utilize it. Women's World Cup. Always a lot of attention, always paying attention to see who is going to emerge. United States, two-time defending champion. Let's make it a third. Thank you for watching my show. If this is your first time watching Passionate Take, thank you for tuning in. Remember, spread the word. You want the best take in sports, you want the best takes in football or here in the States soccer, you want the best take in the Women's World Cup, watch Passionate Take. Spread the word. Your family, your friends, your neighbors, your loved ones, anybody you come in contact with. Like I said, if you're already subscribed to my channel, thank you. If you haven't, take a second, smash the subscribe button. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.